Michelle G here, Bendy Stitchy. Today is Saturday. It's the 24th. No. Oh my God, no. It's the 14th. Don't do that. Don't do that, Michelle. It's the 14th. Don't skip ahead. Today is the 14th of December. My pronouns are she, her. And we are here today to talk about both cross stitch and knitting. Flosstube is traditionally a cross stitch platform, but so many cross stitchers are multi-craftual. So you'll hear us talking about our cross stitch and our knitting and our crochet and our diamond painting and our journaling. There's probably some needle felters out there, just all kinds of things. So today's mostly cross stitch, but there is some knitting because I've been knitting, been rejuvenated. And yeah, let's just cut to the chase. I finished my Stitch for Pride 2024 sale. I did. I finished it. So this is Stitch for Pride. I love it so much. This is Stitch for Pride 2024, and it's by Dees20Stitches. And it is on the called for fabric, which is 40 count determination Verdal. So determination, the color of the fabric, is the called for. I chose to have it in 40 count Verdal. This is by Jessie at Mislaid Pages. And all of the colors, so I didn't end up, excuse me, I have a Sprite, so it makes me burp. I didn't end up getting K&N Yarn, Jasmine. I didn't end up getting their floss pack because I was too slow. I was at work. So I did my best approximation of each color in each month. And then starting in February, I didn't do it in January, but starting in February, I took the color of the previous month and I carried it forward. So in February, there's a little eyeball in January's color. March, of course, is sriracha and has the green lid. April is pink and it has the red words from March. May up here has a little bit of pink. June has the May color in the doodads. July has the yellow. This is August, and I did rip out the eyeball in the center of that because I used the lighter color of this variegated floss and it didn't pop out. So I used that. September, I filled in one of the triangles with this color. October, the skull is in that brown. November, just the belt of the dress. And then December, the middle of the O. And then I went back in January and I didn't want to pick anything out, so I outlined the heart. Very subtle, but it's there. So that's my finish. This is my 50th finish of 2024. I love it so much. And I can't wait. I already purchased 2025, the 2025 sale. So this is one option to do the 2024. Dee gave us both the patterns, both individually and then as a spot sampler. So this is the spot sampler version. And then in 2025, I will do them individually. And I'm looking at getting a journal to put them in, a cross-stitch journal. So the other side of the fabric, I just flipped it over, is my sad, sad little start on Grief Knows No Bounds. But this does give you a better picture of the fabric, which is stunning. So this big piece of fabric will get two whole projects on it, which is kind of, it's a nice economical way. If you buy this is a fat quarter. If you buy a fat quarter of something in 40 count, you can usually get, unless you have a really big project, you can usually get two projects on it. So yeah, finish number 50 for 2024. And then because I finished that, of course, I worked a little bit on this is my tail end project. So instead of putting the tails, once I finish stitching on a thing, instead of putting the tails back on the floss skein or the bobbin, I put them in here. So this is my tail end project, and you can see, or maybe you can't, but I'll show you. For Stitch for Pride, I stitched up this edge. That's because over here, all of this from this right here all the way up, this whole quarter of the piece right here, so right here, and then up. This is all, this is the next whip I will show you. It's 4 Boys and an NL Girls 2024. It's that time of year where you don't really know what year it is. This is all from Patty's 2024 Christmas Countdown. So all this border, and then this middle section, and then this bit of this flower here. And then, so all that's left is I have to repeat this much and then close the border. So this is Modern Folk Embroidery Summer Bower, but it's a little bit modified because I can't count. It is what it is. This is my previous tail end project. That one was super cool. This one, I feel like my tails are a little smaller, so the colors are choppier, but I like it just as much. And then I'll show you later when I say check out this freebie, I will show you what I'm actually going to do as my next tail end project. Last week, I talked about the peppermint purple blackwork style, and I thought that's the one that I was going to do, but it turns out it's actually a different one that had caught my eye, but it's also free, so that's where I got confused. They're both blackwork sales, they're both weekly sales, and they're both free sales. So they're both great. I mean, you choose whichever one you want, but I'm going to do this one that I'm showing this week, even though I already said I was going to do the one I split. It doesn't matter. All right. So my next whip is, so this week, I forgot to say, this week, since I filmed the last video, I've put in about 17 hours, 16 hours and 54 minutes of stitching and or knitting. I've put in 2,061, give or take, stitches, and I have one finish, 2 stitching whips, and a knitting whip. So this is Summer Bower counts as one stitching whip, and then this counts as the other. This is the 4 Boys and an NL Girl 2024 Christmas Sal from Patty. And this color here, this gray, was the 13th. I didn't quite finish it. It has to come up in here a little bit and like do the shadow of the snowman. And I did realize that this part right here, this white snow, is too far down. So I do have to pick that out and move it up a little bit. But that's okay. So the gray was yesterday, and then today is actually, I love today's color. It's a bit of a departure. Here's all the colors so far. So the gray was yesterday. Today is 3804. It's that magenta pink. So I can't wait to put that in. That also goes in the snowman. So right after I'm done filming this, I'll finish up these 2 colors. And then my tail end project will get some bright pink. This is a Floss Buddy. If you haven't seen a Floss Buddy before, that's also a Floss Buddy behind me. That one back there is a Floss Buddy Ultra, and it holds the entire collection of DMC if you want it to. I did run out of room at the bottom for the 3860s because at the top I put in some of the variegated. So it doesn't hold all the variegated, but there's enough, and that's by order only. Karina just doesn't hold. This is a Floss Buddy from Bags Plus. My friend Karina makes them. She's in Washington. She doesn't just make these and have them in her shop, the Ultras, but she does have these in her shop. And this one she actually made special. She took one of my whips and turned it into a practical thing. She covered it in the vinyl that she uses over here. And so now I have my witchy stitcher Baba Yaga, and I'm using it all the time for that. So right after this video, I will catch up because I'm also using this for hashtag Pick-A-Whip. Marjorie made stitches. Her second to last Pick-A-Whip prompt is stitch on a project on a bright or colorful fabric. And this is a pretty fairly neutral aqua, but it is colorful. So I'm counting it. Count it. Okay. And then my next whip, my last whip, is my knitting whip. And I've been going ham on this. So I got a lot of progress on this whip because I've been knitting on it kind of on car drives to and from Rosie's sporting events and whatnot. So this is my Dakir shawl, and it's a shanket. So I'm not going to unfold it completely, but I will tell you that this is 1/3 of the width of it. So it's twice again as wide as this, and it is, when all is said and done, going to be 30 sections of knitting. And it just alternates between these lace sections and these garter stitch. Is that when you just knit back and forth, back and forth? Garter stitch with lateral braid on the top and bottom. And then it has this lace, and then more garter stitch, lace, and you can see some of them are stellina, garter stitch, lace, garter stitch, lace, and then this is the middle. So there's 2 garter stitches, and these are both stellinas, garter stitch, and this is where it flips over. So then we go the tree lace, garter stitch, and then the net lace, garter stitch, and then the tree lace, and then the net lace, and then this one you can see I screwed up, but I don't care, come at me, and then garter stitch, and then the tree lace, and then here's where we are. So finally, I finished between, I'm not unfolding this, y'all, just not. Between last time I showed this and this time, I have knit, I do keep my stitch marker in here so you can see how far I've gotten. Last time I showed it, I was all the way down here. So I've knit a good more than half of this section and then started that section. And this yarn right here is from, let me see who it's from. This yarn right here is from Knitting Nikabi, and it's called Mirab. And Mirab is the alcove inside of a mosque that faces towards, it's the alcove inside of a mosque where if you go in, and I didn't know about this, but if you go into a mosque and you find the Mirab and you face towards the Mirab to say your prayers, then you are facing Mecca when you say your prayers. So this is Mirab, and if you go to my Insta here, I'll just show you. Here's my progress picture. This is the new yarn that I just put in, and this is Mirab that I finished. And then what I like to do is put a picture of what the thing is because I'm learning too. So this is the Mirab. It's the niche in the wall of a mosque that indicates the direction of Mecca. So if you look towards this niche, you're looking towards Mecca. And that is this section here, Mirab. And it's a stellina, and it is by Knitting Nikabi. And then this section that I'm on right now is not a stellina, and I can't tell you who it's by because I won't know until I get to the center of the Tootsie Pop, because I, like a genius, folded up the tag that came on each one of these yarns, these mini skeins, folded up the tag and put it inside the ball. So I don't know what the yarn is called that I'm knitting with or who dyed it until I get to this to the center of the ball. It's fine. It totally works out. But this is another lateral braid section. So you can see the lateral braid down here. And then now I'm just working on the garter stitch. So I think I'm on row 6 or 7 out of 18 in that section. So I will keep working on that, especially because I have a lot of Rosie Sports right now. So as we watch Rosie Sports, I will knit. And it's very much knitting season here because it has been cold. It's been cold, like frozen fog cold, which I gotta tell you, I lived in Michigan for 25 years or something like that, 28 years. And I do not remember having 2.5 weeks of freezing fog. That was some shit, if you ask me. Nobody told me Oregon was this cold. It's fine. I'm done being salty. Okay, plans. So plans, I want to keep up on my 2024 Christmas countdown sale. I'm going to keep knitting at sporting events. And then last week, I did talk about Parade Progress 24-25. And I haven't started that yet. Shocker, I know. But Parade Progress is basically like my challenge to you. Watch the whip parades, watch the finish parades. It's parade season. So watch the whip parades, watch the finish parades, watch all the parades, watch the start parades, watch the kit parades, watch all the parades, stitch on a project. And when you finish that parade, post a picture of the project in your Instagram and say like, just finished Marjorie Maid's finish parade, hashtag parade progress 24_25. Okay. So I'm going to pick one project to work on during that. And the project that I settled on is this monstrosity. It's on my scroll frames. Don't ask me where the stitching is. This has got to come off the scroll frames and go back on because it's such a mess. Here it is. So this is my 2 years of tours bell pull. And if you don't remember it, that's okay. It's been a minute since the summertime. So the idea of this is that I have this long skinny piece of fabric. Don't tell me how uncentered it is. I already know. I have this long skinny piece of fabric. And my friend Christina and I, we love some cycling. So we watch cycling, I think, throughout the year. I can speak for Christina when I say that. But we love our grand tours in the summertime. So you get the Giro d'Italia, and then La Tour de France, which is the most famous one, and then you get La Volta a España. So I decided that this piece of fabric is long enough that I could do hashtag 2 years of tours bell pull. And the pattern that I'm using, I'm going to stitch it 6 times because Giro, Tour, Vuelta, 2 years, 6 tours. This is called Veerland Sisters 1 from Stitchy Box. It's Birdie. So I did take some liberties, not least with the colors. This is usually an alphabet. And instead I wrote Tour de France and then I wrote Tadej Pogačar because he won. And then underneath the finish, so I did all of the accessories in yellow because Latour de France's color is yellow. The leader's jersey color is yellow. So I did all of the like accessory stitches. It says Anno 2024, and then there's like little doodads here and this line. I did all of those accessory stitches in yellow. And then I put the name of the tour and the winner's name in yellow. And then each day, whoever won that stage, I stitched their jersey. All the way up here from stage 1, all the way down here to Tadej Pogacar's win. He's team UAE Emirates, so his jersey looks like this. And he won stages 22, 21, 20, 16, 15. And I think he had another win up here when he wasn't in the yellow jersey. But then when he's wearing the jersey, I outline it, right? So, attend. Let me go back. So this is my Notion tracker for this project. Birdie, Virlanda Sisters 1 from Stitchy Box Samplers. And Birdie is usually very tame. She's charted monochromatically or 2-color. But you can see each day, so like these first 3 stages were won by someone from team DSM Firmanek, someone from team Arkea Sansik, and this is Beniam Girmay from Intermarché Wanty Gobert. And so I tried to make the icons, the doodads, look like the jerseys. And some of them are better and some of them are worse, right? It's fairly impressionistic, but like you can see Tadej Pogacar, and his jersey is a little different because he's the champion of his country. But you can see it's mostly white, and then it has a red stripe, and there's that. Team Astana Kazakhstan was a little bit difficult, but I did it. And then also this guy is on this team, but he's wearing his country's jersey. Don't worry about it. And then here, so this is from the Giro d'Italia because I was also going backwards. So you can see this win was here from Team Lotto Soudal. This team was here. I think it was AG2R Decathlon Mondial was this jersey. So I tried to put the sleeve in. And then this one here is Tadej Pogacar again, UAE Emirates. But when he won that stage, he was wearing the pink jersey, which is the Giro's leader jersey. So I outlined it in pink. And then again, Lotto Soudal right here. So that's the idea. Whoops, that's the idea. And so the Tour de France is completely done. The Giro d'Italia is started. So I have 21, I counted from 22 on the last one, whatever. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. And I think that's like 8 and 9 or something like that. But you can see I have work to do on the Giro. And then underneath the Giro should be the Volta a España. But you can see, or underneath the Tour, but you can see there's nothing underneath the Tour because I never started it. So I have half of the Giro and all of the Volta to go. And then underneath them I added, because I have space on the fabric, I added the names of the people who won the other 3 jerseys of the race. So Tadej Pogacar won the yellow jersey because he won the whole Tour de France. He also won the red polka dots. You can't read it, but that says Tadej Pogacar. Beniam Girmay won the green jersey, which is the points jersey for the best sprinter. And then Remco Evenepoel, which I hope he doesn't win any tours because his name is too long to win a tour, won the white jersey, which is the best young rider. So if you're not here with me in the summertime, welcome to what my feed sounds like in the summertime. Tour, Vuelta, 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 Giro, Giro, Giro. I get excited. But also this will be my Parade Progress 2024. The motifs stitch up fast, but sometimes it takes me a little longer to plan out, like, what am I going to stitch because it has to match their jersey. So, anyway, if anyone except Christina is still watching, thank you. So that's my plans. Christmas countdown, Parade Progress on Birdie, and keep working on my Dakir shawl. Purchases. So one of my purchases is my 2024 Christmas Advent. I also got another Advent calendar. It's from Jazz at KN Yarns. It's done now because it was a 12-day Advent. And it was 12 mini skeins and then a full skein. So I opened the full skein on the 14th. Even though Jazz said to open it on the 25th, I talked to them. They were on the feed earlier this morning. They totally understand. They can see why I would do that. So I'm going to hold up the 6 days that I had left, and then I'll show you. This is called the Glorious Gastropods Advent Calendar. So I'll hold up all of them, and then I'll show you the yarn with the Glorious Gastropod that inspired it. So this is the last week of the Advent, and I have to tell you that each and every single day I was like, there's my sweater quantity, there's my sweater quantity, so each day I wanted a sweater quantity of it. But that final skein took the cake, I think. So that's the second week of it, and then I'll show you what inspired them. So this one is called Blue Sea Dragon. Perfect, right? Perfect. This one is called Lox Chromodoris. I don't know where that lives, but it definitely lives in the ocean. I love the variegation. This reminds me of like sea glass, right? Love the variegation on that. This one is the Purple Ring Top Snail. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Also matches my fingernails. So good job, Jazz. This one is so soft too. Okay, this one is the Symbol Bubble Snail, which I love this. I love this snail. I don't know where Jazz, if they were just doing a Google search or what, but like that blue that goes into that bright, bright green. And my camera is maybe making a lot of that green. Maybe it's not quite that bright, but that's lovely. And then this one was my favorite until I opened. This is number 12. It was my favorite until I opened the last one. This is the Scaly Foot Snail. Look at that. Ding! And my camera's maybe redding it up a little bit. It's maybe a little more pink. But can we just talk about this snail for a second? If you think that snail is straight out of Mordor, you would be correct. That snail is an extremophile. And he lives on the vents, I think, on the vents of volcanoes. Scalyfoot snail, aka Mordor snail. Hashtag straight out of Mordor. And then this last skein, it's the big skein, so I so appreciate Jazz's humor. They did the giant African land snail, and even the paper is bigger as the inspiration. Wait, just look at this. You can like, that is so good. I love this. This skein is so incredible. Right? Like, and I know what I'm going to knit with these. So I am going to knit. I'm going to zoom way in on this, because if I don't zoom in on the picture, then you get the instructions. And that's not cool. This is the Leftovers Advent Scarf. I don't remember who it's by, but it's in my Ravelry. So basically what you do is you knit a certain amount, and this is meant for 22, this is meant for 22 colors, 22 mini skeins. But I think I'm knitting few enough rows with the mini skein that I might be able to repeat it. So I might be able to do like day 1 through 12 and then day 12 through 1 and get the right length. If not, YOLO. So you knit with the mini skein color, and then this salt and pepper color is the big skein. So it'll be like mini skein, big skein, mini skein, big skein, right? So on and so forth. So either I'm going to knit, I can't decide. You tell me. Should I knit these color blocks twice as long, or should I knit 1 through 12 and then invert it and go 12 through 1? Kind of leaning towards 1 through 12 and 12 through 1. And I should have enough of these, like in each one, because it calls for only 12 lines of this. And these mini skeins are the same size as the mini skeins in my Dakir shawl. And I'm getting, this is 12 lines of 80. And on my Dakir shawl, I'm getting 17 or 18 lines of 133. I'm getting 198. So yeah, I should have enough. I think there's something about weighing these, right? I don't know. Anyway, somebody help me out. Oh, and I forgot to show you. Part of the every Saturday in the 4 Boys and an NL Girl, we get an extra bonus. Today's was a bath melt. And I wish you had smell-o-vision because this is a sweet orange bath melt. It's cocoa butter, sodium bicarb, and fragrance and essential oil from St. John's Soapwork. There's really nothing to see. It looks like a gold bar. But I'm wondering if I could use this as a shower steamer without falling because it's got coconut oil, so I don't want to fall. Okay, we did plans. We did that. Happy Mail. Happy Mail for the second week in a row is my Happy Flossmas. This is my Flossmas Joy 2024. It was sent to me by my partner, Jamie. The mastermind behind this swap is Milka, Mega Stitches, and she got a bunch of us together and said, what if we just send each other one little package of floss every week, 4 weeks in December, and make each other happy. Excuse me, Sprite burps. My partner went above and beyond, so they included some trivia. This one is not going to read. Trivia. Which is the first company that used Santa Claus for their advertisement? So you stew on that, and I'll show you the goodies. She sent Merry Christmas. It's a little stitchy, it's a stickery decal. 2 more of these Christmas trees. I got those in the last one too. These are tiny little wood. Can you hear that? It says Merry Christmas. And then a Quet la Choche flower. And then I said this last week, but I'm going to say it again. On every note that I wrote my partner, I was like, I don't know if you love Threadworks, but I'm going to make you love Threadworks. And I think my partner loves Threadworks because for the second week in a row, I got Threadworks. This is Threadworks 01138. I think it's mosaic. I don't know whether or not it's mosaic, but what I do know is that I've used this in a Hildy border. I'm sure of it. So this is Bendy Stitchy Designs on Instagram. And I think my market freebie in 2022 was called Hildy Goes to Market. Oh, no, this is a different floss, isn't it? I thought it was this. Hildy Goes to Market. But that's different. So never mind. I don't think I've used this. I thought I had. But this is Threadworks 01138. So pretty. Let me Google it and see what it's called. Because Threadworks just gives us like... They just give us the numbers mostly. So this one is actually, it's called Mosaic. So I was right. So have I used it? If I've used this on a Hildy, then it's not released yet. Oh, did I use this on Hildy's Winter Ride? Heck if I know, man. I don't know. I don't know, but I should probably release Hildy's Winter Ride. It's got a moose on it. I don't know. Look. Don't at me. Just doing my best over here. I think, I swear I used it. I don't know where. Maybe someone remembers. It ain't me. Okay, so that was purchases. That was Happy Mail. Check out this freebie. So last week I talked about Peppermint Purple Blackwork Sal. And now, so I said, and I'm going to take this back because I definitely said that I was going to use the Peppermint Purple 2025 Blackwork Sal as my next tail end project. Well, I'm not. I am going to use the Steady Thread Blackwork Sal as my 2025 as my next tail end project. So this is the teaser post that they put up for the Blackwork Sal. This is their sixth free year-long Blackwork Sal. And there's a lot of options. This is the one that caught my eye, right? So there's 6 options, I think. These are all the options. So there's more geometric, there's more botanical, there's some that are a mix. All you do is sign up on their website. You don't pay even. And they give you the option of like, you can stitch these circles and then fill them in, or you can just baste the circles and then let the blackwork design stand on their own. I love this one. But I'm definitely signed up and I'm definitely doing this one. Although I also love this one. The shading behind them is brilliant. But I'm definitely doing this one. This is my next Blackwork Sal, or my next tail end project. And so there's 52 circles in there, I think. I'm not going to count them right now. Okay, I'm not going to count them right now. I think there's 52 circles in there. And then when you first sign up, you get the outline. It's 146 by 146. They recommend that you stitch it on Aida, which I probably will do. And yeah, so if you wanted to join me on that, check out that freebie because that looks amazing. I just love the steady thread. Like their stuff is so, look at how cool that is. Like, I really think that the steady thread makes me not only believe that I can do black work, but that I should be doing black work. Like, just look at, and they always stitch it on Aida. So I'm definitely going to go with that. Like, it's just really cool. That would also be a great tail end project. This one right here, possibly suitable for the 100-day project, although there are 129 little blocks. And it's $1. Give me a break. And then black work doesn't have to be black, right? You can put color in. This is lovely. This is, I designed this one with the 100-day project in mind. And this organic border also looks very much like one of the borders for the 2025 sale. So, oh, see? Look at that. Mine's going to look like that except wilder. So, I'm excited. I can't wait. I'll probably choose a 16 count Aida. I'm just going to have to look through my stash and see what I have that's neutral enough, but not like too neutral. Do you know what I mean? So, that is my check out this freebie. And then I think that's it. So I think that's it as far as stitching goes. I don't have a giveaway this week because I don't even think I posted the last giveaway. I don't even think I posted the Google form. I am not in a position right now where I can be trusted to regularly send things to people to send things to people on a regular basis. I just can't. I don't have the bandwidth. So rather than that, I am going to not do a giveaway. So this is where the stitching ends. So if you were only here for the stitching, then I appreciate you hanging out. And I will see you hopefully tomorrow, either on YouTube or Twitch in the morning for a stream. And if you don't do live streams, that's totally cool. I'm doing 25 days of Vlogmas this Christmas. So it's a short. I'm putting them up as YouTube shorts. So it's less than 3 minutes every day. So you can have a little snack of my stitching and see how far I got. So far, I'm mostly keeping up on that Sal. And if not, then I'll just maybe see you again next week. Rosie has basketball tournaments now every week through the end of December. And next week is all the way up in Oregon City, which is about 2 hours from here. So it's going to be a toss-up whether or not I get that Flosstube done next week. I don't think I probably will. So it might be 2 weeks till I see you. Might not see you till after Christmas. So in that case, if you celebrate Christmas, happy Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, happy whatever you might celebrate. Or if you don't celebrate anything, then I wish you a very gentle holiday season. And that's it for the stitching. And I will see you in 2 shakes for the tarot card and book review. Bye. And I'm back. Thank you if you're still here. I've been pulling this week from the Tarot of the Cosmic Seed. I was doing the Witch Sister Tarot, and I was feeling it. It was a little bit dark, but I was feeling like not as dark this past week. So I switched up to Tarot of the Cosmic Seed, and I did notice that I had accidentally shuffled in some reversals. So I thought, YOLO, and I just started shuffling the deck to build in some reversals. Reversals are when the cards fall upside down. If you didn't already know that, if you already knew that, just saying it again. So I now have reversals shuffled into this deck. I don't know where they are because I just flip half the deck upside down every time I shuffle. So there might be more reversals on one day. There might be less. I did not pull a card this morning, and it's already 4:24 in the afternoon. So this is going to be a shorty of a card for today. But maybe it'll be reflective on the day that we've had already. We'll see. Rosie has 2 friends right now, so... let's see what we get. Usually I kind of shuffle until a card sticks out quite a bit or falls, like this one kind of stuck out. So I'll pull that one. So this is the Four of Wands. And the way I pulled it out of the deck, it came upright. So I love this deck. This is by Lalania Simone. And she's an Instagram artist. I actually have a ring that she made too, that I bought I donated to a mutual aid Palestinian fundraiser. And I won the ring because it was a bidding auction type thing. And then she sent a tarot deck too. Also, if you have a chance to buy this deck, the feel of it is amazing. Okay, so Four of Wands, it means stability, gathering, and harmony. It says a time to enjoy celebration and or appreciation for your life. Goal attained, supported, secure, a solid foundation. May also refer to a wedding, birthday, or milestone. So this is all about stability, gathering, and harmony. A time to enjoy celebration and or appreciation for your life. I like that. I like that. I'll ruminate on that a little bit. It's also really pretty, the Four of Wands. A lot of times the Four of Wands in other decks has people dancing under it, kind of like a... Some of them actually are like wedding pavilion thingies. I don't know. Is it a huppah? Does a huppah have four? I don't even know. But these cards are just really pretty. Okay, so books. I finished a book and I started a book, and they are diametrically opposed because I needed a cleanse after the book I finished. Not because it was bad, but because it was heavy. So I finished Manhunt by Gretchen Felker-Markin. And let me get this is the title, or this is the cover. Thank you. So Manhunt is a trans fiction novel about a post-apocalyptic world. There has been a virus that has decimated half of the human race. The characters call it T-Rex. There's a couple of mentions in the book about its actual name. But basically it turns anyone with a high enough level of testosterone into not really like a monster, but they behave monstrously, but they kind of devolve into these primordial humans. So they're not zombies, they're alive. But all they want to do is eat people. And yeah. And so the only people that are left in the world are women and trans women and trans men. And the only way that the trans women can keep from succumbing to this virus is by ingesting estrogen. And since though it's an apocalypse and there's only a few 100,000 people left, they think, in the North American continent, obviously all of the factories and plants and research labs have shut down. So the only way to get the testosterone is to hunt these, or the estrogen is to hunt these men and harvest it from them, right? As pictured on the front cover. There is not a single character in this book that is what I would call good. Everyone is messed up. They're messed up because of their trauma in their past. They're messed up because they're living in this horrible apocalypse. Like, this is one of the worst apocalyptic worlds I've ever read. Everyone is messed up. Everyone is awful. Everyone makes terrible choices. Everyone, I think, is trying to do the best they can. Some people are more, it's easier to feel for them in the way they do the best they can. This is absolutely not safe for work, but it's so good. Y'all, recommended. There were good moments in the book, but overall, like, it's not a good book. I mean, it was a good book, but it was not a good situation for anyone in the book. Okay. So obviously after that, I needed to switch gears, and I started, upon recommendation of my friend Jean, The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt. Its subtitle is How the Great Rewiring of Childhood is Causing an Epidemic of Mental Illness. And Jonathan Haidt is actually a happiness researcher. So he researches what makes people happy and how people are happy and how happy people stay happy, etc., etc. And as part of his research, what he noticed was there was a 150% increase in anxiety and depression in Gen Zers from 2010 to 2015. which is wild. He is in the process, and I've only just started the book, he is in the process of correlating that increase with the introduction of easy internet access in your hands and social media. So he has 4 kind of foundational tenets. So the premise of the book is we overprotect our children in the real world where they're meant to function, and we underprotect our children online where not only do they not know how to function, but we don't really know how to keep them safe, right? And I would argue that Wade and I are better at keeping Rosie safe online than my parents were at keeping me safe online. Not that it was unsafe, but I was all up in the chat rooms on AOL Instant Messenger and stuff, and on the early days of AOL, they had no idea who I was talking to. I don't have any idea who I was talking to, right? So, like, Wade and I are better equipped to deal with Rose's online stuff, but there's more of it. So the 4 main, like, pillars of his suggestion, of his, like, this is how we should move forward, is no smartphones that can have apps on them or internet access until the child is 14. No social media until the child is at least 16. No electronic devices that have internet access, phones, watches, etc., in schools, period, ever. And more unstructured outside time in the real world for children. Rose doesn't have a phone yet. I'm not saying we're good, but, like, she's 12 and it's a hot topic right now because a lot of her friends have it. One thing that I'm really grateful for is that her schools just this year did have a cell phones. They do now have a cell phones in the locker policy. So from first bell to last bell, every cell phone and smartwatch needs to be in the child's locker. They're not allowed to have it. And if they do have it, then the staff takes it away and they call the parents to come get it. And then the parents are also in that way put on warning of, like, hey, this kid's violating a policy. This policy is pretty important to us. I think they did it from the aspect of keeping kids safe, but I think they also did it from the aspect of, like, they're not paying attention if they're texting each other under the desk, right? So far so good. It's going to scare the crap out of me, and this book might well interfere with Rose getting her first cell phone. If it does, it does. I've just had too many pediatricians tell me that it's not good for her. So far so good. But you can see, like, completely opposite book. I couldn't read another post-apocalyptic book after that last one. I needed a minute to come down off of it. So that is that. And I think that's it. I'm not going to do a giveaway. I talked about my whips. I talked about my plans. I don't have a new Pick-A-Whip challenge. Marjorie should be coming out with the last Pick-A-Whip of 2024 next week, or tomorrow. I think that's all I've got. So thank you for hanging out with me. I am really tired. I don't know if you could tell, but, like, 2/3 of the way through this video, I just got tired. So I am going to edit the video. I am going to finish my stitching, and then I'm going to bed, y'all. I'm going to bed at, like, 7 tonight, as soon as I can get rid of these girls out of my house. I'm just kidding. Rosie's having fun with her friends. So yeah, maybe I'll see you next week. Maybe I won't make a Flosstube next week. I don't really know. But I will see you when I see you, and hopefully I can squeak in a whip and or finish parade this year. We'll see. I like to do my finish parade after the first of the year because sometimes I can just knock out that one last finish on December 31st, right? Anyway, we'll see. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you stayed for the end, thank you for staying for the end. And I will see you hopefully sooner rather than later. Bye.